So far, we've learned about developers' rights, that is, their right to define how their software will end up being used and, where desired, how it can be used to generate commercial profits. Now it's time to better understand the fine print on various classes of open source license. In broad terms, we'll divide these classes into two categories. We'll discuss permissive licenses in this clip and restrictive licenses in the next. Permissive open source software licenses are a type of software license that allows for a wide range of uses of licensed software. Some examples of permissive open source software licenses that we'll explore in greater depth a bit later include Apache, BSD, and MIT. In general, permissive open source software licenses give you the right to use the software for any purpose, including commercial purposes, and the right to modify the software to suit your needs. You'll get the right to distribute the software to others, either in its original form or as a modified version, and the right to sublicense the software to others, allowing them to exercise the same rights as the original licensee. You'll also have the right to use any patents or trademarks associated with the software, as long as they comply with any applicable laws. At the same time, permissive open source software licenses also impose certain obligations on users. You might be required to include a copyright notice when making further copies or distributions of the software. You could also need to include a copy of the license in subsequent distributions. You might need to disclaim any warranties or liability for damages that may arise from the use of the software. And you'll often have to give attribution to the original software authors or contributors, although there might also be times when using the names of those authors without explicit permission is forbidden. The bottom line, make sure you read the fine print. Now let's take a more detailed look at some actual permissive licenses. The two-clause BSD license, also known as the simplified BSD license, is a permissive open source software license that allows for a wide range of uses of the licensed software. The license permits users to use, copy, modify, and distribute the software, as long as they include a copyright notice and disclaimer of any warranties or liability. The two-clause BSD license is commonly used for software that's released as open source, but also used in proprietary software products. The three-clause BSD license, also known as the new BSD license, is similar to the two-clause version, but includes an additional clause that requires users to include a copy of the license and copyright notice in any distributions of the software. This license is commonly used for open source software projects that want to ensure proper attribution and give credit to the original authors or contributors. BSD, by the way, stands for Berkeley Software Distribution. The license is associated with the version of the Unix operating system that was developed at the University of California, Berkeley in the late 1970s and early 80s. The MIT license is a permissive open source software license that allows users to use, copy, modify, and distribute the software as long as they include a copyright notice and disclaimer of any warranties or liability. The license is similar to the two-clause BSD license, but it's often preferred for its brevity and simplicity. The MIT license is commonly used for open source software projects, especially those related to web development and programming languages. MIT, of course, stands for Massachusetts Institute of Technology, a private research university located in Cambridge, Massachusetts, USA. The MIT license is named after the university because it was developed by the university's computer science department and used for its open source software releases. The Apache license version 2.0 is widely used for open source software projects, especially for those related to web and server software. The license permits users to use, copy, modify, and distribute the software, as long as they include a copyright notice, disclaimer of any warranties or liability, and a notice of any changes made to the original software. The license also includes patent grant provisions that protect users against patent infringement lawsuits. The Apache license version 2.0 is often considered to be one of the most permissive open source software licenses available. The Eclipse public license, EPL, is a permissive open source software license that was developed by the Eclipse Foundation for use with the Eclipse software development environment. On the other hand, EPL is not a permissive open source software license. In fact, EPL kind of straddles the border between permissive and restrictive. I'll describe it here, but bear in mind it actually shares some features with the restrictive copyleft licenses we'll talk about in the next clip. At any rate, the license is designed to be compatible with other open source licenses and allows for the creation of derivative works. The EPL version 1.0 is a copyleft license that requires any modifications or derivative works to be released under the same license. The license also includes a patent license grant that allows users to use any patents associated with the software as long as they comply with the terms of the license. The EPL version 2.0, released in 2017, is also a copyleft license, but includes several updates and improvements over the previous version. The license has been updated to address some of the legal issues that arose with the previous version and to make it more compatible with other open source software licenses. One notable change in version 2.0 is the addition of a patent non-assertion covenant, which assures users that the software's licensors will not assert their patents against the user for using or distributing the licensed software.